Are you thinking about joining PeerBerry and looking for reviews and experiences from other P2P investors? Well, that's great news because you want to make sure you know exactly where you put your money into. My name is Jakub from P2P Empire, and in today's video, I will be introducing you to the P2P marketplace PeerBerry. I will show you in what type of loans you are investing in and how your P2P lending portfolio is protected. I will also show you how PeerBerry works and how you can make more than 10% interest per year. Make sure to stick until the end, and I will share with you my own experiences that I've had with PeerBerry over the last 2 years. So first of all, what is PeerBerry? PeerBerry is a Latvian P2P lending marketplace where you can invest in short-term loans from various lenders that are protected by a buyback guarantee, but more about the buyback guarantee later on. The platform was founded in 2017 and since then more than 23,000 investors earned more than 3 million euro in interest. You can expect to earn around 10% interest per year. Based on my own experiences, I managed to earn more than 11%. How safe is your investment on PeerBerry? When evaluating P2P lending platforms, you should always look at various risk factors. I highly suggest to you to check out our guide on P2P Empire to learn more about it. Personally, I always look at the risk and return ratio when it comes to P2P lending. On PeerBerry, you are investing in loans from other loan originators. As mentioned, PeerBerry is a P2P marketplace, so you have the additional risk element, which is the lender itself. What you should know about PeerBerry is that you are funding unsecured consumer loans. Most of the loans are also short-term loans. We P2P investors call them simply payday loans. Those payday loans are protected by a buyback guarantee. This buyback guarantee is a protection mechanism offered by the lender itself. It means that if the borrower is late with its payments for more than 60 days, the lender will repurchase the claim from you, so basically buy back your investment, and will deal with the debt collection itself. You will be paid out the interest as well as the loan principal. That's how your investment portfolio is protected on PeerBerry. Additional guarantee is a guarantee offered by the finance group that owns the loan originator. So basically you can invest in various loan originators on PeerBerry which are owned by 3 large finance groups. Those are Aventus Group, GoFingo and Lit Home. Buyback guarantee as well as the additional guarantee are always dependent on the financial stability of the finance groups or of the individual lenders. For example, Aventus Group owns 80% of the loan portfolio on PeerBerry. So you want to make sure that the Aventus Group as well as their lenders are profitable or financially well off in order to cover their promise of the buyback guarantee. Now, let's talk about due diligence. Due diligence is a very important task that you should be doing before investing on any P2P lending platform. Why? Because due diligence helps you minimize the risk of investing your money into a platform that's highly likely a scam. So let's look at my own due diligence when it comes to PeerBerry. PeerBerry's CEO is Arūnas Lekavičius, who joined the company in the beginning of 2019. In fact, as part of my own due diligence, I have had a talk with Arūnas myself a few weeks ago. We discussed the current licensing situation in Latvia, as well as some of the new features that PeerBerry is preparing for you. PeerBerry was founded back in 2017 by the Aventus Group itself, which is currently the largest loan originator on PeerBerry. Later on, PeerBerry was sold to 2 private investors, which I haven't found anything suspicious of during my own due diligence. If you want to learn more about them, I highly suggest to you to check out our PeerBerry review on p2pempire.com. During my own due diligence, I always read the entire terms and conditions. Why? Because I want to exactly understand what risks I am taking when investing on a dedicated P2P lending platform. I usually look at the following 3 factors: the liability, the separation of funds, and how the company deals with amendments to terms and conditions. You can learn more about those 3 factors in our dedicated PeerBerry review. When it comes to changes of terms and conditions, a lot of the P2P lending sites changed their rules as they wish. That's not the case with PeerBerry. PeerBerry is going to inform you 30 days in advance before any amendments will take into effect. This is a very positive sign, and in my opinion, it increases the trust in PeerBerry. So how does PeerBerry work? Well, in order to join PeerBerry, you need to register, verify your identity, and deposit funds from your European bank account. So you don't need to have a Euro bank account, but it's highly recommended because if you transfer funds in a different currency, PeerBerry will use the current bank exchange rate in order to exchange the currency that you have deposited in Euro. You can only invest in Euro on PeerBerry. If you don't have a European bank account yet, I suggest looking into N26 or TransferWise borderless account. Both options are free and you can create a bank account within just a few minutes. So let's look at how you can deposit money on PeerBerry. Currently, you only can use SEPA transfer, which is regular wire transfer, in order to deposit money to PeerBerry. In order to get the bank details, you go to PeerBerry Deposit tab and check the beneficiary bank account number, which is the IBAN, and as well as the payment details. It's important to add your payment details when doing your transfers to PeerBerry, so PeerBerry can allocate your deposit with your investor account. So let's look how PeerBerry works. If you click on Overview, you will get a quick overview of your investment account on PeerBerry. On the left side, you'll see the available amount for investments, the invested funds, as well as the total amount that you have on PeerBerry. In the next row, you will see the paid interest, which is the historical interest that you have received on PeerBerry since you started investing. Further down, you can see different investment statuses. Most of my loans, as you can see, are current. There are a few loans that are delayed in the range of 1 to 30 days. On the right side, you will see the net annual return that you are receiving by investing on PeerBerry. If you scroll down, you will see the loyalty program, which is defined into 3 different categories. If you invest 10,000 euro or more, you will receive a 0.5% bonus on your investments. If you invest more than 25,000, you will get a 0.75%. And investors that invest more than 40,000 euro will get a 1% bonus on their investments. So let's look into the investment tab. Under the investment tab, you have 2 options. First, investing manually, and the second will be using the auto invest. With manual investing, you can choose the loans you want to invest in, and you will see here who is the loan originator, as well as what type of loan it is and the loan term. If you click on invest, you will see some additional data from the borrowers. I personally don't use this option that much, as I invest automatically with the auto invest. By using the auto invest, you can predefine your investment strategy and PeerBerry will allocate your funds into individual loans. So what you can do is just simply create a new auto invest. In this case, I can show you mine. As you can see, you define your portfolio name, portfolio size, the maximum investment in one loan. If you are just starting out, you might want to start with just 10 euro in order to increase your diversification. Then you can choose the minimal and maximal interest rate. Currently there isn't as many loans available, which is why I've included also loans with interest rates of 9%. I personally use PeerBerry in order to invest into short-term loans, so my maximal loan term is always set at 90 days. Further down, you can also define some of the loan information. I personally invest only in current loans, and currently I'm investing across all the countries that are available on PeerBerry. I also chose all the loan originators, and I'm only investing in loans protected by the buyback guarantee, and I also want to reinvest all of my interest back on PeerBerry. In order to finish up with this process, you need to agree with the user agreement and click on Save and Activate. Then you will get a brief overview of your settings in the field here. And here you can see the active investment portfolio as of right now, as well as the invested amount entire period that you have joined PeerBerry. If you click on My Investment tabs, you will see all of your current investments as well as your finished investments. If you want to view legal contracts, such as the assignment agreement, you can simply click on the PDF icon in here. If you click on the ID of the loan, you will get some more additional information of that individual loans that you have invested in. As for myself, I'm not using this feature at all, as I've never seen really a usage to it. If you click on statements, you will get some additional data that you can use in order to report your income to the tax authorities in your country. And that's basically how PeerBerry works. If you want to withdraw your money at any time, you can go to the Deposit Withdrawal tab and you click on Withdraw, and then you just simply type in the amount of funds that you want to withdraw. Make sure that you can only withdraw the available funds that are not invested, and then you choose your bank account and click on withdraw. Alright, so what's my opinion about PeerBerry? Well, over the last 2 years, my experience with PeerBerry has been very positive. What's worth mentioning is their excellent support. If you have any questions, they will get back to you within just a few hours with a proper answer. It's not something that I've experienced on many of the other P2P lending sites where I'm currently invested in. Another point worth mentioning is that most of the lenders on PeerBerry provide audited financial reports, so you can have a look at their financial statements and decide for yourself whether you think that they will be able to cover the buyback guarantee. Another important point worth mentioning is that the lenders that list their loans on PeerBerry are exclusive only to this one marketplace. That means that you won't be able to invest into them on other P2P marketplaces like Mintos, Vyventure, Iuvo Group or Bonster. In my opinion, this is very positive, as it means that those lenders are not excessively using P2P lending as their primary source of funding their loan. So why is this so important? Well, let's put yourself into the shoes of the lenders for a minute. Let's say you are getting 90% of your funds from P2P investors. During an economic crisis where the investors will pull back their money from P2P marketplaces, your business model will fall apart if you don't have access to a variety of funding sources. So, if you see a lender that uses P2P marketplaces in order to get their funds, it means for me that they don't have access to a variety of funding sources, and that's a risky bet. The good news is that this is not the case with PeerBerry, as those lenders exclusively list their loans on this P2P marketplace. While my experience with PeerBerry has been very positive in the last 2 years, there is something that you should be aware of, and that's the availability of loans. Because PeerBerry is so popular and a lot of P2P investors like you started investing on PeerBerry and the demand for investment opportunities is higher, PeerBerry or the Aventus Group or other loan originators are not able to provide as many investment opportunities because the markets where they operate, they still haven't recovered fully from the economic crisis. So how does that impact your investment portfolio? Well, the loan availability will be decreasing as well as the interest rate, at least temporarily. How long it's going to take, I cannot tell. However, it's something that you need to keep an eye on. If you have started investing on PeerBerry a few months ago and you set up your auto invest, you might want to go back and adjust your settings in order to get your funds invested. If you don't do so, you might suffer from cash drag. Cash drag means that your funds on PeerBerry or other P2P lending sites are not invested because your auto invest settings don't match the criteria of the currently available loans. What you can do is to try to decrease the interest amount that you have set in the auto invest, or add some more loan originators or countries depending on the platform that you are invested in. Whether you change your auto invest settings is something that you need to decide on your own. As for myself, since I've talked to the CFO of Aventus Group and as well as to the CEO of PeerBerry, I feel quite confident in the process and their business models, which is why I don't mind broadening up my auto invest settings so I invest into all available loans. But that's a choice that you need to do on your own. It's up to you to decide whether the returns on PeerBerry are good enough for you. As for myself, I'd rather invest into profitable lending companies that are not over leveraged, as opposed to investing on other marketplaces where lenders promote their loans with high interest just so they can buy back your investments and relist them on their platform for lower interest as soon as the market situation changes. So this was my PeerBerry review. You should note that the P2P lending space is changing rapidly, which is why I encourage you to go check out our PeerBerry review on p2pempire.com, which is being updated on a regular basis. Why? Because you always want to base your investment decisions on accurate and fresh information. If you decide to invest on PeerBerry, signing up with our link in the description below will give you additional bonus of 0.5% on your investments during the first 3 months on PeerBerry. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel in order to not miss any future videos. And if you have invested on PeerBerry, please let me know your experiences and thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.